So I'm glad you were able to submit the challenge videos. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these. So lead out position on 1-2 looked perfect. You were tucked behind the wing, just kind of using that right arm to recall out to the correct side of 2. I think jump number 2 is an excellent place for you to be using a jumping aid. So I'm totally in favor of that. And then here, she's taking off a little bit early. I think we talked about it in the first video that ideally we want them to come past that inside edge. You can see she's taking off here, and with that, you're not going to get a really great bend. What you're going to get is you're going to get a slice because they have to go forward past that wing. So I think doing some work with some bending skills might be something to work on to improve the turn at number 3. Although it wasn't bad, it gave you plenty of time to get down here, outside arm up before commitment, so fantastic timing on this, and a nice line right into the tunnel. So tunnel discrimination skills looking really good on that. One of the things that I might suggest in addition to the jumping aid at number 2 is possibly one right here on that wing of number 3 to help kick out for a little bit of shaping there as well. You'll see here in a moment when we switch over to the rear cross, there's one where you do a little shaping on the rear cross. That turns out quite nice, but she's just not bending. I know you mentioned having a little bit of difficulty with her wanting to prepare for a turn and add a stride. Very typical with a high drive large dog, and you add on top of that jump number 3 is the most difficult jumping effort we have, which is that parallel approach and 180 turn. So I think it's here right on this first one. What ends up happening is instead of getting a rear cross at the yellow, you get more of a rear cross on the flat. The difference being she kind of comes towards you and then turns on the flat and cuts back. So the lead change happens here as opposed to getting a straight line and the turn happening at the jump. So as she comes in, she comes right up to your side. You can see right here, you step in behind, we get the lead change, and there's that extra stride that brings that front foot past that inside edge. So you can see this is the first and only one where she comes past that point, and as a result, look how pretty that jump is. That is a very, very, very nice jumping effort, and for that reason, I almost liked that option the best. You'll see on all of the others, probably a result of patterning and the fact that she does know where she's going. You don't end up with that rear on the flat. You get a rear at the yellow, and that turn isn't as nice. If we watch here, she lands and it's 1 stride and 2 strides taking off on that slice. Now again, that slice gives you plenty of time to get down here. You can see she is jumping big. I personally would strongly advise some work on some recalls, and what I mean by recalls is recalls as they pertain to jumping skills, something that was developed by Linda Mecklenburg. All of my jump training is through her, my training, my foundation, and also taking some online classes. I know we have a couple other VIPers taking her problem solving class. Carissa with Ren has a dog very similar to yours, very much wants to jump big, and she's taking that class. I don't think you need to take an online class, but maybe revisiting some of those recalls positions, which is basically the idea that the dog needs to learn the jump, the distance between you and them and jump appropriately. So if there's only 3 feet between you and the jump, then they need to land in that feet, not expect that you will move and land 4 feet. It kind of becomes a game of chicken. Every time you're in that space, but you move out of it by the time she lands, they win, and therefore they continue to push on that behavior. Handling, very good here. The bars, it's a little bit hard. She actually ticked this bar on the rep before that, or maybe it's this one right here. Yeah, right there she hits it. And based on the number of reps, I just questioned if she wasn't getting a little bit tired because you had many very nice repetitions with both options and then kept working, and I don't know if she was getting tired there. I will tell you, I didn't see anything crazy that you were doing. I think it's the fact that she took off early. She knew she was supposed to turn to the right, tried to turn to the right, and then just came down with that. So I didn't see anything specific you did. Again, review some bending skills. I would strongly advise some recall skills, and then just be careful not to overwork it. If you've run the sequence and you're happy with it and you've got the handling that you want, less can be more for some dogs that are inclined to start hitting bars as they get fatigued. So really nice work on this small space. Glad you were able to submit the follow-up video here.